You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
The views expressed by the individuals during this broadcast are their own opinions, and they may not be the same as those of their group or other organizations they may be involved with.
All medical advice during our broadcast is not a medical opinion and should be checked with your medical physician.
Hey, good evening and welcome to the Pace Radio Show. We're live here at paceradio.net. Good evening, Tamara. How you doing?
Well, I'm good, I guess. I haven't had any sleep in about 72 hours. We're rolling, rolling hard with, the arthritis.
No sleep, eh?
No, last night I tossed and turned all night, and at 6 o'clock I finally said, well, I'm not sleeping, so I might as well just get up.
Might as well just get
I
up.
wasn't in pain. I just could not sleep. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know what it was. I didn't have any, I don't know. I keep thinking maybe it was my Vyvanse that I took too late in the day, maybe. I don't know what it was. But I haven't gone any day without sleep for about 20 some odd years, and today's one of them. And
Today's
it's
one
not
of them.
drug-induced coma by any stretch, but yeah.
How do the prospects look for tonight?
Not much better.
Not much better, eh?
No, I'm not tired at all, and I should be exhausted. I should be.
Yeah. If you haven't slept in 3 days, for sure.
No, and to be honest, too, like before it was because of the pain, right? I couldn't sleep.
Yeah.
Now the pain's gone. Well, now it's back. It started about 20 minutes ago again because I'm stressed out. I think that's what's causing it because of what's going on in the other room. Yeah, it's weird how it's been coming on. Like just like, and like I said, just curls my hand and like so I can't even open it. Like it's just ridiculous. But yeah, and that just came on. Like since
this is what you would consider like a flare.
Yeah, but it's weird because, like I said, usually it'll go in one place for 4 days and then it's gone. And I don't see or hear from it for a while. And this has been going on for about 2 weeks on and off. And it's the weather, I think. I think that we've got so much humidity in the air out here that we're not used to. And in the summertime when the humidity is really high, I flare too, right?
Oh.
But in the wintertime when it's usually a dry cold, I don't have any issues. But this year, we've got this cold and then warm melting and then cold and then warm and then cold and then warm. So there's a lot of humidity in the air too from all the water evaporate, whatever the ice.
Yeah. We get that a lot here.
And the barometric pressure keeps going.
Yeah.
So every time that happens, I end up, and now my arm's starting to bugger up. So I should check the barometric pressure. I appreciate it just went either up or down.
Yeah, you can tell by the aches and pains that are caused by it.
My dad's mom had the same thing, and she used to be able to tell by, barometric pressure by her body. And I used to remember,
grandma had it.
And they lived in the Okanagan, right? Like they lived in Oliver. So it was pretty humid there all the time. No wonder she was suffering all the time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The humidity.
No, it's not. It was more like a desert. So no, actually, it wasn't so bad, actually. She was pretty active. I'm trying to think back because I didn't spend a lot of time with them. But I do remember her bitching about her hands hurting and the barometric pressure must have dropped.
Right. Yeah. And you're dealing with, like you said, your hands.
Yeah. And like I said, they were in Oliver, but they were closer to Osoyoos, so it was more of a desert. And that's probably why they settled there. It was because of that, because it was so dry there. I betcha. Now that I'm thinking back, I never even thought about it. Because we don't know a lot about them because they were from the generation that children should be seen and not heard. And we don't have a lot of background or any information. We know who they are. We got pictures, but we don't know who, what, where, when, and why, or why they were. Got a picture of them standing beside a brand new Buick Studebaker. So they must have had some money back then in '38 to have a brand new Studebaker.
Yeah, really.
Right? It's an odd story because my grandparents were stepbrother and sister after the fact. They got married and then their parents married. My dad's dad's dad married my mom, my dad's mom's mom after they got married. So they were already married first, like my grandparents, and
Yeah.
then her mom married his dad after, and then she divorced him and married somebody else. She was quite the floozy
Oh.
back in those days. Well, I mean, we're talking
Oh.
30s and the 40s. Like, who got divorced and remarried like 3 or 4 times back then? Apparently, she did.
Right.
Right? So yeah, we don't even know where she ended up because Anyway,
I think I lost.
how's your renos going? How's your renovations going?
Oh, they're gone.
Oh, is that a touchy one? Is that
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about it?
Yeah, I better not. This might get me upset. So.
I know, no. We won't talk about that then. We could talk about what's your weather like? It looks like you might have got some snow.
We actually here we've been getting a lot of freezing rain, school bus cancellations and stuff,
Oy,
and
that's horrible.
from a post I saw online, the school bus company actually posted that, hey, we're working today. So they it's been like that -2 to +4.
Oh yeah, yeah,
And just a lot of precipitation, so
yeah. And then it freezes
foggy.
just a freaking black ice mass. Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we've been
Exactly.
dealing with that here too. And again, like it's not usual.
Right.
We're usually socked in with 14 feet of snow by now. It's Christmas.
Right. Um,
Hang on. Hang on. These people are wanting me. Hang on a second.
people are wanting you. Oh, she's got herself muted. She's talking to somebody there.
It's my plumber. Because
Oh, plumber. Oh, cool. Right.
as we speak, my sink is actually being fixed. So I got new taps about 6-8 months ago that hadn't
Yeah.
been installed. So he was going to come and install those for me. And then we looked underneath the pipe because I plugged my sink with can of butter. And it was so plugged that
Oh,
it's like cement in there. We couldn't get through it. And in the interim of us plunging through, we broke the pipe. So I looked under there and he said, I can't leave this like this. We're going to have it. So we took off, went to Home Depot, got all the pieces, parts, and whatever, right? And
right.
so I'm not sure, but they're yelling at me that they need me for something. I'm not sure what
All
it
right.
is.
Well, you go do that, and I'll just take over here. Well, Tamara is gone. Here, I'll just switch me around here. There we go. All right. Well, Tamara is gone. I will continue on with some. I'm gonna say it's sad news, and I'm sure Tamara will want to get in on this when she gets back. And that is the passing of Professor Alan Young within the last week. I saw that John Conroy had posted that Alan Young had passed away, and wow, holy smokes! That's sad news. Alan's been involved in a lot of stuff over the years. He's well known, for his cannabis and the things within the cannabis community, and the fight city that he won for patients here in our country. But he also fought for other reasons as well, not just for cannabis rights, but he also fought for people who were wrongly convicted, people who got charged with something and ended up being convicted even though they were innocent, and he fought for that as well for those people, as well as when it comes to sex trade workers. He got involved in a big landmark decisions there that dealt with the Canadian prostitution laws. Remember that, Tamara?
I do.
I should bring you in here since you're back. There you are.
We just had a dilemma with the saw. We're good. I do remember that. And Alan was an amazing litigator. Like he took on some of the hardest cases.
Yeah.
Like one of the hardest ones. In fact, I think he was like almost on the verge of taking on Tamara Leach's case before what's his name took it.
Right. Yeah.
I'm not sure, but maybe not because Greenspoon took her case, right?
Yeah. I'm not sure. So what I've got here in front of me is I got an announcement that came out from Normal Canada. Genoway runs that. She's the chairperson there. So I'll just read it here. It gives a bit of a background and stuff on them. So it says here, it is with great sadness that we acknowledge the passing of Alan Young, a trailblazer in cannabis reform and a fierce advocate. Let me bring this up. Where is it? There. That way I can just show it to you. There it is. Fierce advocate for justice in Canada. As Vice President of Normal Canada, Alan played a pivotal role in advancing cannabis policy reform and public education on individual freedoms. His work empowered countless advocates and contributed to the normalization and eventual legalization of cannabis in Canada. Alan often joked that he became a lawyer to please his parents, but his career was far from conventional. A champion of personal freedoms, Alan dedicated his life to challenging outdated laws and defending marginalized communities. He was the co-founder and director of Osgood Hall's Innocence Project, guiding law students in investigating wrongful convictions while advocating for accountability and justice. Throughout his career, Alan brought constitutional challenges to laws on gambling, obscenity, body houses, and drugs, defending individuals whose lifestyles or consensual activities clashed with the law. He provided free legal services to many, including those using cannabis medicinally for conditions like AIDS, cancer, and multiple sclerosis. His advocacy led to the creation of Canada's first regulatory framework for medical cannabis, providing relief to countless Canadians. Alan also worked tirelessly to support victims of violent crime and represented individuals seeking justice for malicious prosecution. His unwavering commitment to fairness and accountability defined his approach to law. Beyond his courtroom victories, Alan was a prolific author, using his books, Justice Defiled, Perverts, Potheads, Serial Killers, and Lawyers, and All Along the Watchtower, Arbitrary Detention, and the Police Function, to critique society norms and Canada's legal system. His sharp intellect and wit left an indelible mark on legal discourse. Alan helped, it's almost down here, Alan helped countless individuals facing systematic barriers, offering his expertise to those who had no voice. His legacy includes not only landmark legal victories, but also his enduring influence on public policy and the next generation of advocates. At Normal Canada, we are profoundly grateful for Alan's leadership and dedication, and in his memory remain committed to evidence-based policies and protecting individual freedoms. There you go. We invite those who share Alan's vision to continue his work and honor his legacy by building a more just and compassionate society. And there's a picture of him right there. Oh, you're muted. Tamara? Oh, she must be talking to the plumber. She's muted.
I wasn't talking to the plumber. I was saying things and I didn't know I was muted. Actually, like what I was saying was, Alan, it's a huge loss for not just this community, but also for the human rights movement.
Yes.
The fact that he was one that would stand up. No other lawyer would, but Alan would, right?
Yeah.
The prosecution. If it wasn't for Alan Young, prostitutes would still be being charged for solicitation instead of the Johns being charged for solicitation.
Yeah.
Rather than going after the men that were using them, right? And again, I don't really, didn't think that was such a great way of, doing it either way. I mean, it's the oldest profession in the world. Just make it safe.
Make it safe, exactly. Yeah.
Make it so they have to have, drug tests and STD tests and AIDS tests, so they're not, spreading diseases. Like, let's be safe about it. And I just think that everything, and that it doesn't harm anybody else, really should be bought else. It's everything in moderation, right? Including hard drugs. Like, nice people do drugs.
Sure.
That's just a fact, right? And I just believe that, and I believe that that's why he that was the same belief. He believed that everybody had a right to do whatever they wanted as long as it didn't harm anybody else.
And yeah, the consensual sex end of things with the body house. That was the Bedford case, I believe, is what is that was the one.
I think it was the Bedford case. That was back in what, 2002.
I don't know if it was that old. I think I'd have to look it up.
Maybe it was 2004. I have to look it up now because now I'm curious.
Now you're gonna want to know. I think it's 2014. Just to throw it off. But it's gonna be, and there's other lawyers that I'm gonna say that came up behind him that learned from him and worked together all within the cannabis community.
Yeah, Terry Jean Bedford, 2013.
2013. So
yeah, it was Bedford versus the Court of Canada case that struck down several Canadian prostitution laws. It was Amy Bedford, Amy Ledwich, Valerie Scott challenged the constitution of 3 criminal provisions.
Yeah.
Doesn't say who the lawyer was. In this.
No. Okay.
But it made it so that you could actually have brothels in some provinces.
Correct. Yeah, the I watched a video earlier of Alan speaking at, what is it, Idea
City?
Huh? Idea City or something? Yeah. Yeah, I was speaking at that.
Michelle spoke at Idea City too.
Okay, yeah, because she's mentioned in there, as well as other people. Because the video itself it was posted like 7 or 8 years ago was when it was posted.
Well, it's been a while since I heard anything about Ellen. Like,
same here.
Yeah. I mean, I was kind of shocked when I read that on Allison's post yesterday, but I know it would have affected her.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because they were always
like, and I think, I'm not sure for sure, but he was probably helping her with that psilocybin case too, I would imagine.
Might have been, who knows? Yeah. Well, from one of the articles I read, he retired in 2018, but that doesn't mean that you're still not giving.
Wow. He's about as retired as John Conroy is.
Yeah. Post pictures.
I love John. I mean, I met John in Toronto, and for a QC lawyer, he is the most laid back.
Oh yeah,
nicest guy you'd ever meet. But I mean, I don't know if I ever told you this story. We were walking into the vape lounge, me and Debbie, still skiffing, and we're sit down. We're sitting by big bongs and whatever at the table and vaporizers and stuff. And all of a sudden, this old guy. And we didn't I knew who he was, but I was shocked because I didn't expect him. Takes off his suit coat, puts it over the chair, sits down beside us. He goes, "Who's sparking it up, ladies?" And it was John. So yeah, it was funny because wearing a business suit comes rolling into the vape lounge. And here's this lawyer that I thought would be some staunch uppity kind of a guy.
I was sort of like that TY Expo and going, okay, we're smoking doobies as lawyers.
Yeah.
And we're, technically, I wasn't breaking the law because I was a patient with my license, but, as far as I know, they weren't licensed medically. I could be, completely wrong. But otherwise, they'd be breaking the law just like, you or me.
In Vancouver in 2015 when it was legal. When we were at the legalization roundtables, when we were actually in Vancouver speaking to the policymakers in Vancouver, we were so front smoking doobies.
There you go.
In front of this five-star hotel, and it was still dark. It was so fucking early in the morning. I had to catch a cab from Cindy's place to downtown Vancouver in the dark, and I'm and I get there and I'm like, is this the right place? Like, and it's a nice
Now it's probably where you can just light up doobies though.
fancy hotel, right? And I'm like, oh my
Yeah.
God, is this the right place? Like, I felt like a turd in a punch bowl, right? So, I'm a country bumpkin from Alberta, right?
Right.
This place, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, it was just totally weird. And then we're all standing outside. We're all dressed to the nines because dressed up because we're going to see the government.
Mm-hmm.
All wearing suits, all wearing dresses, all standing outside puffing doobies. You should have seen the looks we were getting. I was like, what the fuck? You could, because we were all looking like we're lawyers. They were like. The only one that didn't look like she, might have been a lawyer was Sarah Campbell, because Sarah's, got the dreadlocks, right? But the rest of us all looked like we were professionals, right? Standing around smoking joints. It was fun.
Right. Okay. Let's see. Get that. Oh.
I wish my kid could roll joints.
Oh, can you finish getting that joint rolled? Will the fingers work?
No, I got it, but it's not going to be a getter. I'd be lucky if it fucking stays together.
It's not, it may not look like an award winner to you, but it's what I always look at is if it burns.
I got it together and it'll smoke. That's all I care.
Yeah.
It's sticking together. It'll smoke. Oh my God.
Just the CSP. How's things going? I know that the postal strike, which is ongoing, doesn't look like it's.
And we got stuff stuck in the mail still because the postal strike still, and that's what weed and my RSO is in the fucking mail, and we're broke. I spent all the money. I've gotten and raised more money and spent it too to get more gummies and stuff, and
right.
And then I got my candies are out at on the res at the store out there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good because they're going to sell my candies and all the proceeds are going to go to the substitution program. But this issue with my sink has made it so that I've got one batch of 20 milligrams off. They're out there, but I haven't been able to do anything else because I can't work without running. You
need supplies. You need supplies, obviously.
Supplies. The supplies aren't the issue. I can make the candy. My sink was plugged from me making can butter and trying to shove it down my sink when I shouldn't have because it's cold outside and not even thinking. And as soon as it hit the sink, it solidified. And it wasn't a lot, but it was enough to clog that P-trap. Right? And it was like cement in there because we took the pipe off and you can't even
Oh, wow.
Never mind the fact that it's got 8 piles of Drano on top of it, and Drano wouldn't get through it.
Right, but this isn't just something that happened after once or twice. This has been an ongoing.
No, this was me washing the floors, right, and cleaning the kitchen completely because of the dogs, right, making sure there's no fucking hair. And I did that with bleach, and of course, use the sink with the mop, right.
Yeah, so it's an accumulation over time. Right.
That sounds good. That sounds like something broke.
Are they coming up with new words?
I'm just gonna pretend I'm not paying attention. Because Garrett's not really a plumber, right? He's one of my. He used to work for my uncle as a flagger, right? He's a friend of ours, but he's fixed my toilet before. He's the one that finished my sinks. He's very handy. So
he's a handy guy. And
he showed up.
Yeah.
So him and my 15-year-old girl, they're trying to, and I'm not saying they're not going to do a great job because they will. There's YouTube.
Well, hey, they got access to YouTube.
Right? But we went to Home Depot and we picked out all the parts and I got all the parts and and so I said I was coming in here to do my show and I'd be out when I was done and I didn't want to hear from them, but apparently.
Well, hopefully it's all done when we get done. So hopefully you can get some supplies and
we've got we've got toiletries and all that kind of stuff coming in. I've got people dropping that kind of stuff off at the store. And
Right.
here tomorrow, I had an offer of a mattress, but nobody wants a mattress up there because if they have to move, it's too much for them to have to move. Right?
Oh, yeah. Like, how do you get a mattress up there?
Oh,
Wow.
believe me, they got shopping
Right.
carts. You see them hauling all kinds of stuff. I feel so bad for them. There's a couple tonight when I was going to pick Taven up from the gym, and they were trying to get up that hill with a shopping cart, and it's icy with all their stuff, and they wanted to stop and help them, but my car's full, and I don't have room for all their stuff, and yeah, I feel horrible
Yeah,
because
and they're not going to leave it behind. You can't, and if your car's
I don't
full,
think
where
that.
are you putting?
And the thing is, the reason why they drag their carts around all day with all their stuff is because if they leave it anywhere, somebody will steal it.
Correct.
Or somebody will come along and pick it up and put it in the garbage, right? They can't, and if they leave their stuff at the camp, people steal their stuff, even their friends. Like they steal
Too
from each
bad.
other because it's the drugs, right?
Right.
So it's unfortunate, but the drugs make you do that. And I remember that even back when I was using like 20 years ago. We'd be at a house and a bunch of us would be sitting around and there'd be people accusing people of stealing their pipes or you stole a hood or just stupid shit. And you're all friends and you're all sitting around together, but it's just the paranoia of that drug, right? And I've never done meth, so I have no idea what that would be like. Seeing my daughter on it, I couldn't imagine even wanting to be on that stuff. But it's
Right.
like it just makes you like believe that you're a queen of some sort. I know she acts like it's just ridiculous. Anyways, I don't even want, yeah. And then in fentanyl, I've never seen what it looks like. I don't even know
Right.
what it looks like. So that being said, like I'm not very prolific on the new drugs that are out there. We've got toxic drugs going around all over the place right now. We've had
Mhm.
6 deaths in the Kootenays in the last 2 weeks. And then in October, another 2, they just said in Cranbrook were 2. But we had 4 in Nelson and 2 in Creston in the last 2 weeks, all from toxic drug overdoses.
Wow.
All
Well,
people under the age of 30.
would there's an article that I saw, and it was of place in Australia, New South Wales.
Yeah, that's where Murray
Um,
lives.
Pardon me?
That's where Murray lives.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
Well, they actually have there's an alliance there of people and groups have gotten together, and they're urging the government to adapt reforms such as pill testing, supervised injection sites, because they say that they'll save lives. And this has to do with some group that's it says the Uniting Church. So, there's people.
Well, it's funny that they're that far behind us because
Yeah.
I've got a cousin that his brother was in jail in Australia for smuggling meth into the country, and that was like 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Like, seriously, like he's my cousin. So this is my cousin too, but I've never met him. It's my
Yeah.
adopted from Ghana. Like my grandparents sponsored a man to come to Canada to go to university in the 70s, and his family just became our family. So Ben was my cousin, but his younger brother Andrew got
Yeah.
busted smuggling meth into Australia and was doing time in Australia. Like he got a lot of time for doing that, and that was a long time ago. In fact, he
Yeah.
got out. But I'm surprised Australia is that far behind us on safe injection and drug testing sites. Like,
Yeah, well, the announcement was from a health services union, a couple of MPs, this church nonprofit called Unharm, and they say the status quo is costing lives across New South Wales and needs to be reformed.
well, they all do those wild drugs. Like even Murr,
Yeah.
he scares me sometimes because that's what the toxic drug is that's going around right now. Actually, it's out in Vancouver. I think I saw that in Langley. It's
Mm.
it's MDMA. They're saying it's MDMA and it's not, or mescaline. Like the old, and it comes in a powder, like in a pill powder. And they're saying it's either mescaline or
Well,
MDMA, which is
yeah,
old school stuff that we had around that we did when we were young, like MDMA and mescaline and all that kind of stuff was stuff we did in the 80s and the 90s, right? But it was real. It wasn't tainted with who knows fucking what. Like I remember
it
getting
hadn't been put through the ringer.
sure, like shale, like
Yeah.
it had a rock of it, and it was pink Peruvian, and you literally took a knife and you could just slice it, and there was no cut. It was just straight from like it was ridiculous. So now it's like there's no way in hell you'd ever see that
Mm.
anywhere.
They talk about a festival drug checking as one of these solutions. And I was at a festival one time. They had a tent, like a big tent, not a little 3-man tent. They had a bigger tent,
Yeah.
shelter type thing, and signs on there. Get your drugs tested, and people, that's what they were doing, getting
Those
things tested to
machines
make sure
are
it's safe.
super expensive. They're like $60,000 machines.
Sure, yeah.
I think that's what Dana said last time we had him on the show. The first one was 45,000. Now they're up to 60,000. And he was trying to.
And I believe that was like 60,000 tests he had done.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but I know the reason why Cranbrook has one like Dana is because Shambhala donated it because they were using it at Shambhala, and then they would bring it out. Anchors would bring it out every year for the for the festival, and that's how we ended up with that machine here. So we've got a drug testing site here called Anchors, and they work with me on my cannabis substitution program. One of my volunteers works there, and I got a couple more that want to come out with me, and that's what they do there. And it's a no barrier. It's not a safe injection site, but they allow them to use there.
Yeah. No. Well, at least there's.
You know what? Whatever.
Safe. Yeah.
At least they're safe, and at least they're being watched.
Correct.
The part about it is somebody using alone.
Something goes wrong, somebody's there.
I mean, I know there's an app you can use when you're using alone. It's called Medic Alert, I believe it's called, and it's an app you can use. So if you feel like you're overdosing, you can hit it, and it'll get you medical attention. But that would entail that you have a phone and Wi-Fi.
Yeah. Alrighty, time for us to take a break.
All right,
First half hour zing by. When we get back, we got a Health Canada report that I want to discuss.
Ooh, a new one or an oldie?
A new one, brand
God.
new, just released, brand new. And then I've got a press release to discuss after that. That was sent to me. Yeah, we'll discuss. Wow. All right, you're watching the Pace Radio Show. We're live here at paceradio.net. Talk to you in about 2 minutes, not 3 minutes.
All right.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
Legacy 420 have an awesome array of cannabis-infused beverages, from pop to Nature's Nectar's teas, all in amazing flavors. What a selection. We even have a delicious mango-infused juice, and let me tell you, it's delicious.
Everything is infused in-house, so we buy our syrup from the same place where everybody else buys their syrup for their pop, and the infusion is done in the lab. It's all canned here, labeled here, produced 100% on Tyndonega.
We have 2 lines of drinks. One is called our Nature's Nectar. That was our original line that we came out with. And then we also have a line under the Red E brand. We have them in 10 milligrams, 30 milligram, and 60 milligram cans.
What a great selection for a get-together with friends or after a long day. Remember, if you want to wet your whistle with on-site lab-tested products, come see your trusted partner. Legacy 420 out on your road.
Campbellford Lifestyle Shop. Open Monday to Friday from 10 till 7 p.m. or by chance. Check out our flags, our t-shirts, plus our hats, and look of that supply of rolling papers, plus much more. We've got bongs and your favorite herbal vaporizers. Look at all the incense we have, as well as for those who collect knives, check out these knives in our collection. And while you're here, stop in to see Shay at the piercing room, where you can get poked by Shay. Daily deals, check them out. Campbellford Lifestyle Shop, 17 Bridge Street West, Campbellford, Ontario. Limestone City Hydroponics is Kingston, Ontario's hydroponics shop. Take your growing to the next level and create the optimal environment with a tent kit, or maximize your yield with an ebb and flow flood table kit. Either way, Limestone City Hydroponics has more sizes and options to fit your needs. Are you looking for the power of the sun that adapts to your budget? Then look no further, as they have professional grow lighting. They have indoor grow systems that are easy and cost effective, with many options to fit your living space and lifestyle. Cultivate your growing potential. We have everything you need to succeed. And if you can't make it to the store, they offer local delivery to the greater Kingston area. Remember, when you're looking for experts to help you grow, then look no further than the locally owned Limestone City Hydroponics, 105 Sunderland Drive in Kingston, Ontario. Call them at 613-548-0420. Are you looking for non-stop, continuous cannabis and psychedelic programming? If you are, then turn your browsers to 420radio.ca or paceradio.net, where you will find the 420 Pace re-rolled Saturday. Everything gets started at 8 a.m. Eastern Saturday morning.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
Hey,
I'm
back.
just not having a good day. This is just not a day. This is a day.
You wrapping your arm in a heating blanket?
Yeah.
Trying to
Trying
relieve
to
the pain.
ease it because it's just. And I put some icy pot on it earlier, but that's not cutting it today either.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah. Arthritis is no fun. I was in to see my nurse practitioner today about it. So.
Oh my god! Like it's just it's. Yeah, I'm too young for this shit. Is what I keep thinking. Like this is an old lady's disease. I'm not that old. Like what the fuck? Like how is this happening? Like that's how
I
like,
know.
like you know, and I'm looking at my tray and I'm looking at my grinder and looking at the jar, going,
Yeah.
Oh, solutions. I got a solution. I don't
Oh,
need
okay. All right. Because
It's okay. Go ahead. I'm just gonna grab my vape pen because that's what I saw you with
right
your
there you go. You don't
Okay.
need to worry about your hands, just as
No.
long as your battery's good.
Now I've got 2 or 3.
There
Maybe
you go.
4. I found it. I bought another one. I love
Uh,
these ones. The ones with the little what are they called? Kudos. Little kudo pro. And they're like they got the same as my black one, right? It's got the
Yeah, you just change your cartridge.
yeah, but they're like cheap. They're like $7.
Oh,
And
wow.
they're I remember buying the first
As long as the
DaVinci.
battery lasts, eh?
Oh, it lasts forever. Like I haven't even
Yeah.
charged it yet. I still got 2 bars left on it.
Good. All right. So Health Canada, every year since cannabis was legalized, they do a cannabis survey.
We didn't hear about this time, obviously.
So they post that they're doing the survey, and people can go to the website and go and answer the questions.
When did they put this survey out?
Huh?
When did they put this survey out?
I don't know. I don't know when it went. I don't know when it went out.
Exactly. Like
I don't know the date. Yeah, I don't know the date when it went out.
like, is it over already?
Yeah, it's already over.
So who are they pandering to get to fill out this survey?
Well, hang on. Let me click on the link to see what it brings up. Okay, well, it's the page I already had, and I already had this page open on a different tab now. I'm trying to see if they
from Health Canada
give the information that it's huge, right? You know, we could spend to go through it all. We'd have to go through 3 shows.
Oh my Christ! Not again.
It's huge. I just thought I'd try to see.
Is there anything new in it?
Oh yeah, there are new questions and updated
new questions. But what are their new ideas? Oh,
well, I'm just gonna go through what some of the stuff is reported here in a StratCan article instead of trying to go through each of the tabs. I may, when we get down here, I can go through the actual survey to see if there's other things that they say, because there will be time for that. They say the most commonly spent amount that people spend on cannabis decreased by $10 in the last 6 years. So instead of spending $73 a month, people are averaging now $63 a month.
Oh, they're saving money because the price is coming down.
That's what I said when I looked at it earlier. It's
That's
because of
prices are
price.
coming down by $10 or more. Yeah. And
Yeah,
that's
which is good. The prices have gone down. It's good for the consumer. They say smoking remains the most common way, but the proportion of who report smoking has declined by 20% in the last 6 years. In 2018, 89% of the cannabis consumed was smoked, and that has been reduced down to 89% in the last 2 surveys.
Does it tell you how many people took the survey?
Maybe we'll see as I go along. Now, eating cannabis products, they said, has become the second most common mode of consumption. They said 57%, that's up from 43% of 2018. And vaporizing, including dried cannabis and or liquids such as extracts, accounted for 37% of consumption. And this this section here, I've wondered some of it, and it talks about where you get your cannabis. They said the number of people who were getting their cannabis from legal source in the first half of 2024 remained the same as the previous year, at about 72%, which is up 37%. Up 37% since 2019. Now, there's 13% reported getting their cannabis online or from an illegal source. Okay, 2% reported getting it from the First Nations, and that was something that I've wondered how many people went to the First Nations, because I'm sitting in the middle of 2 of them, right? So for them to come up with 2%, that's quite a bit. If they we're still seeing the elite, the legacy market doing their things, right? So
well, that's how a lot of those
get a wave.
hi Al. I think that a lot of them are getting because he's the one that we've got out here right now isn't growing for themselves. They want to, and they were asking me about my license, and I went, I'm never giving my license away to anybody ever again. That would never happen. And they're like, no, you could be hands on. Like, no, it would be my garden, and I give it to you. Like, I grow it.
Right? Yeah.
No one. Like, I've had my two strikes and you're out already. So
yes.
Not doing that.
They say that. Go ahead.
First Nations should be getting all the business.
They should be getting, that's 2%. It is only 2% of the whole wide scope of things. But if if they can get more of them coming off reserves and getting out into the general public,
I think people are afraid, to be honest.
Because there are some of the reserves that are like that. They're off the reserve.
Yeah. I don't think they're afraid of going on the reserve. I think they're afraid of coming off the reserve.
Off the reserve, yeah. But there are First Nation stores off of the reserve.
Yeah. But I mean, if you get caught coming off the reserve by the OPP, that will charge you with illicit, right? And I think people.
Well, I know they do in BC. Well, there has been. It's like
that's why I don't.
There has been some, and there's been some that haven't been. It's been a bit of a mix here.
Yeah, because these guys out here, like I said, the first one got shut down only because there was a murder and a fire.
Okay,
or they'd still be rolling, right? These guys don't seem to be having any issues and don't seem to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm being very want to be loud about it, but I have to be careful because I'm making them off reserve, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. My story. I'm a patient. I can do what I want. That's what I tell them. Here's my license. Like I'm making them as a patient, like whatever. I really don't think I'm going to get any issues because from what I'm hearing from all ends of it is anything that helps. Because the
Yeah.
fire department and the police and the ambulance for paramedics are so tired of reviving the same people over and over again.
Yeah. So when they asked the question, if you consume cannabis in the last 30 days, that's only gone up 2% in the last 6 years. So it doesn't show like as if there's been a huge influx.
What are they
They say-
like? That's what I don't understand. Like, what are they expecting? That all of a sudden Canadians are going to just like all of a sudden
some
start,
people did.
like I said, right? But I mean, it would be no different. This was my stance right from the get go. And when heroin became legal, I wasn't any more inclined to go out and try it than somebody who wouldn't have tried cannabis before it
Yeah.
was legal anyway, right? So if
Yeah.
you were inclined to try cannabis, you were either doing it in the closet and keeping it on the DL, or you really hadn't tried it and you were always wanting to and you just did, right? It could be a bucket list thing. How do we know, right? But again, I wouldn't do heroin because it's legal no more than somebody. That's how I feel about it because I
Yeah.
wouldn't.
Well,
Like I'm
here's
not
a
because it's legal.
I think this is probably the one question that would show how things have changed. And it says that only 6% of the population in Canada reported using cannabis on a daily or almost daily basis. Some people think that all they do is sit around and smoke pot all day. This shows, that time there was 6%, which is up slightly from the 5% of 2018.
And that
So
could be
in 6 years, it's gone up 1%.
right, but that could be more people using it for medical purposes because
Sure.
they
Oh
realize
yeah.
it's
Yeah.
medical instead of
Yeah.
recreation, right? So, but they're not deciphering that. They're just asking the question, right? They're not saying did you use it for medical purposes or for recreational purposes in the questionnaire, right?
Right. We talked
Yeah.
about driving.
And what are the stats on that? They're just like overwhelming impaired drivers, right?
Okay, the number of people, these are because they have to be self-reported, okay? The number of people who reported using cannabis before driving was 18%, which increased slightly from the year before, which was at 15%, but is still lower than the 27% who reported it in 2018. So basically it's down 10% since 2018, but it is up a bit from last year.
Nobody's going to admit that.
Yeah. And they say this included 16% who reported driving within 2 hours of smoking or vaporizing cannabis, and 10% who reported driving within 4 hours of ingesting cannabis. And what else here?
I don't know if I admit that into a cop, but I mean, I jump in a vehicle right after I smoke a joint because it doesn't really affect my ability to drive or my ability to do anything, right?
Yeah, perfect. You just come right in at the right time to say that, because to follow that up, it says that for those who reported using cannabis in the past 12 months, 78% said they believe that cannabis use impairs one's ability to drive, while 13% responded that it depends, and 6% reported that it did not impair their ability to drive.
But it doesn't impair my ability to do anything. That's the thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's because I've been consuming for so long, maybe because it's a medical, usage because of my pain and stuff that my body's receptors are just taking it and using it for that and not giving me any euphoric. Maybe it's because I'm so old and cranky that I can't get high anymore. I don't know. But all I know is that it just doesn't affect me the way I see some other people. Like I've seen kids like pie-eyed, like their eyes are all red. They come into the store and they're giggling. I'm like, man, I wish I could get high school high again.
Oh, those were the days. Oh,
Right?
yeah.
I don't even know what that would be. Actually, I've only felt that once again after high school, and it was with Dana in Toronto with that damper damper.
Oh, yeah. The
And he
vaporizer.
had, I don't know what kind of weed he had put in that thing, but oh my god, I got back to that NDP booth and it was like, I am fucking ripped. I'm just ripped since I was in high school. I had to sit down. Myrna was laughing at me so hard. He says, "You look like a little schoolgirl. You're laughing so hard." I was like, I was giggling. It was stupid. Like, yeah, that was pretty.
Yeah.
I can actually recall besides high school.
Yeah.
that- Cool.
Now, as far as this article, I'm just trying to see if there's anything else out here I can grab. Let's see. It says recent figures from the Canadian Community Health Survey released in October showed the population of those over 18 in Canada who reported using cannabis in the last 12 months, and those who reported that they had used cannabis daily or almost daily in the past 12 months declined in 2023. Numbers going down.
I think that once they are done high school and they're heading into college, I think that they stop consuming because they know that this is their life ahead of them, right? And I think that we don't give our kids enough credit for being smart enough to realize that when they get into college, it's super important that they do well.
Well, you
Right?
know, I remember that the times of you grow out of it. You just grow out of it.
Well, sometimes you do, and like sometimes you do. Right. And I can't say that I was consuming it when I was in university much either, right? Because I just didn't have time or the money. And that's a lot of the reason too, because when you're in college or university, you don't have the extra money. You're eating craft dinner and itchy bad and trying to catch a second job to, pay your bills. Like it's not
hot dogs.
Yeah, right. So there's just no money for weed either. So that could be another reason, right? The lack of funding when you're in college. And I know for myself too, like
Yeah.
I didn't consume daily and regularly until I was in my 40s. And that's because my health problems had gotten a little bit worse, right? As you get older.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Well.
Final diagnosis after I had Taven, because I had to kind of stop what I was doing because I got pregnant, right? Which wasn't
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
follow it up in my 40s. So,
I can remember when a quarter bag, like 7 grams, lasted me a month.
I don't ever remember 7 days. Yeah, no, it would have never lasted.
It doesn't happen anymore.
No, it wouldn't happen when I had one. In fact, I don't think I ever could afford a 70 bag because they were usually $80 in Alberta, right? When I was
Really?
like 40 and
Oh,
80.
I'm sorry.
40 for an eighth and 80 for a quarter, right? And if you wanted an ounce, it was $250 or $300. So we weren't we weren't. So we did. I was a single mom. I couldn't afford that shit.
Yeah.
And it was pretty sparse sometimes. So you'd have to go and if you had no money, you'd have to go to the bar and see if you could find some scuzzy guy to sell you a joint for $5.
Yeah.
Seriously, like there were rough times around there. And no, and it wasn't a big hash fan. Like
Yeah.
something that I wasn't really big on. That's at one point that's all you could get. And oil, and then you weren't sure if it was oil or molasses.
Yeah.
High school with got busted with selling oil out of the arcade when we were in high school, and when the test came back, it was molasses. So I don't know what all those people were getting high on because it sure the fuck wasn't oil; it was molasses.
Now here's some more information. I went right to the Health Canada website, and I'll even bring it up.
I can't believe that we didn't hear about this survey. Like, was it in the Gazette? Like, was it published anywhere? Like, how did we miss it? Like, usually Ross is on. Somebody in the cannabis community is on it. How did we miss this?
I don't know, but
we all slacked ourselves. We're all slacking.
It says here, okay. It says here in Canada in 2024, it says 71% believe that daily or almost daily cannabis use increases the risk of mental health problems, which is an increase from 68%. 51% correctly identified that it could take 4 or more hours to feel the effects of cannabis edibles. 40% knew that there.
One again, people actually think that they can get mental health issues from smoking cannabis.
71%. And that's gone up in the last year.
The survey was taken in Saskatchewan, wasn't it? Like, are you kidding me?
37% knew that legal cannabis products were tested for contaminants. 30% were aware of the longer duration effects of edibles versus smoking. Only 30%. I thought that would have been higher than that.
Like I said, where did they take this survey? Who took this survey? Was it an Angus Reid poll? Like what?
Well, I went looking for it and I couldn't find anything.
Right? Like when did this come out? Like is this made up? Like is this
Here,
joke?
I'll
Is this
quickly
one of
scan
Polyap's
through it.
jokes? Oh,
There's
God.
got to be that information's got to be at the end. Like this is huge. Like my little cursor thing off the side here is just small.
Right?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, like-
Okay. Here we go. I think I've got this. Okay. Here we go. The summary presents survey presented findings from the data collection, which started April the 14th, 2024, and ended July 2nd. Survey findings were weighted by province, territories, age groups, sex, birth, stuff like that. Survey results are based on responses from 11,666 people aged 16 years of age or older across the country.
That's no one.
And over, when you look at, there was what, 34 million people? Yeah. You would think the numbers would be higher.
We heard almost 35 million.
Excuse me. Of the responses, this is even.
Well, like I said, they didn't. Where would you even have found it? Like I didn't hear about it.
Yeah.
Like where did they even advertise to do this? Like,
Now here's even this you'll go, well, there you go. That's why. Some of these, it says here, other responses, approximately 3,000 were from people who indicated that they had consumed cannabis in the last 12 months. So that means 9,000, basically 8 or 9,000 people that participated in that survey had not consumed cannabis in the last year.
Then why are they even taking the fucking survey? What the hell's
It just
wrong
shows
with
that you
know what? I bet you $10 that was something that was sent out in one of those Leo surveys that you get in the fucking mail, in your email, right? The people that, do surveys to make money took. It's not even a credible survey. That's a fucking joke. Well, it isn't. How can you have a credible survey with 11,000 people when 9,000 of them don't even consume the product? Like that's ridiculous.
There's your numbers right there on the screen.
Oh my fucking God.
Yeah,
all females that sit at home and eat bonbons and take surveys to make $20 a month.
Well, look at the numbers though. There's only like 30 different. There's like 30 more females, and that's it.
Well, that's because there's a lot of incels that sit home.
Most of the people were over 25.
Yeah. I just can't even. Like, I bet you if I go through my emails, I'll find this survey somewhere in one of those stupid Leo surveys or Angus Reid forums. Fuck.
There you go. That's a national cannabis survey.
We don't consume cannabis, and Health Canada is going to use this as a credible survey.
Yeah, I would think that some of those results would change if more cannabis consumers were involved in it.
If they would have had that,
no wonder 71% of the people the number was high for the mental health.
Well, here's the thing: why didn't they have that link in that survey at every pot store across the country for you to pick up a little tab and go, "Hey, why don't you take this home?"
Yeah, a little QR code, right?
Yeah, like it's not like it's hard. There's 1,000 fucking 100,000 fucking pot stores all across the country.
Yeah,
actually gone to the base of actually, of the consumer instead of random fucking who knows who off the internet. Like that's about as credible as this box.
They said of those people who did consume, they said that they consumed, the number one reason why they consumed in the last 12 months was because of sleeping problems.
Oh my fucking God, that's why they should smoke weed.
That's why they smoked.
Oh, that's why they smoke. Oh,
Yeah.
I thought the ones that didn't consume because they couldn't sleep because they didn't smoke weed. Like,
Yeah. Arthritis, chronic pain, anxiety, and depression. Those are the top 5 reasons.
right?
Yeah.
Or does it not have a line that says "or kill people"? Where's my line that says "no, you think you won't kill people"? That's got to be a line. That would be. I would answer the survey properly. How many doobies a day do you smoke? 100,000. Why? Because it stops me from killing people.
You would have to probably put that in your. Well, here you go.
Oh my
I mentioned
God.
the anxiety, depression, acute pain, headaches, migraines, ADHD, ADD. That was 15%. PTSD, as well as a lack of appetite, wasting weight loss, and eating disorders.
Well, I'm calling bullshit on the sleep right now.
On the what?
Sleep.
Sleep.
Bullshit.
Yeah. Well, if you're not going to sleep, maybe it's the wrong strain.
Oh, this is Venom OG from Loud whatever. It's indica.
Plug.
It's, yeah, Loud Plug, and it's Venom OG. It's good. Like, I need to get out to the res because it'd probably be better, but I won't drive out there that road, and I have to remember to Alexa set a reminder.
What's the reminder for?
Send a nasty note to Tegan.
When should I remind you?
7:30 p.m.
Okay, I'll remind you at 7:30 p.m.
Set myself a reminder.
When should I remind you?
I already told you. Shut up. But yeah, like the road out there is horrible.
Yeah, I don't have one of those.
I remind myself to send Tegan a nasty message because I sent her one when I was driving it last week, and it's better. And it's a bus route that pisses me off.
Right. All right. Well, it's that time again. Time for us to take another commercial break.
Already? Wow.
Already? Yes. So when we come back, I'm going to discuss that press release. All right.
Well, as exciting as that survey was. Health Canada.
Well, I'll tell you what. It's in April. If I could, hey, why don't you put a thing into Alexis to remind you in April to
check
look
Health Canada to see if there's a survey?
To look for the National Cannabis Survey. If she can remind you.
Alexa, set a reminder.
What's the reminder for?
Look for the cannabis survey.
When should I remind you?
April 2025.
When should I remind you?
April 2025.
When should I remind you?
April 1st.
9 a.m. April 1st, 2025.
Okay, I'll remind you April 1st at 9 a.m.
And we'll start digging for it.
There you go.
We'll dig. We'll actually send them an email. Say, so is your survey coming out that we can actually do this time?
Well, I hope Alexis comes through for you next year, and you get a chance to fill out the survey.
Well, you know, if she's still working by then, and I haven't killed it, maybe.
All right, we're off. We're heading to break. We'll talk to you all in about 3.5 minutes. You're watching the Pace Radio Show. We're live here at paceradio.net.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
Campbellford Lifestyle Shop. Open Monday to Friday from 10 till 7 p.m. or by chance. Check out our flags, our t-shirts, plus our hats. And look of that supply of rolling papers, plus much more. We've got bongs and your favorite herbal vaporizers. Look at all the incense we have, as well as for those who collect knives, check out these knives in our collection. And while you're here, stop in to see Shay at the piercing room, where you can get poked by Shay. Daily deals, check them out. Campbellford Lifestyle Shop.
117 Bridge Street West, Campbellford, Ontario.
When you have a pain that's reached its peak, Legacy for 20, it's so unique. If organic cannabis is what you seek, here's your trusted partners 7 days a week. Suppository salves, vapes and drops, topicals, edibles, infused pop. Just when life seems like it ain't easy, at Legacy 420, enjoy a pop freezy. Lab tested products, make them the GOAT. Legacy 420 out on your road. Legacy 420 in Tyendinaga Mohawk territory. Indigenous organic cannabis at its finest.
What do you find at paceradio.net? People advocating cannabis education.
Limestone City Hydroponics is Kingston, Ontario's hydroponics shop. Take your growing to the next level and create the optimal environment with a tent kit, or maximize your yield with an ebb and flow flood table kit. Either way, Limestone City Hydroponics has more sizes and options to fit your needs. Are you looking for the power of the sun that adapts to your budget? Then look no further, as they have professional grow lighting. They have indoor grow systems that are easy and cost effective, with many options to fit your living space and lifestyle. Cultivate your growing potential. We have everything you need to succeed. And if you can't make it to the store, they offer local delivery to the greater Kingston area. Remember, when you're looking for experts to help you grow, then look no further than the locally owned Limestone City Hydroponics, 105 Sunderland Drive in Kingston, Ontario. Call them at 613-548-0420. Are you looking for non-stop, continuous cannabis and psychedelic programming? If you are, then turn your browsers to 420radio.ca or paceradio.net, where you will find the 420 Pace re-rolled Saturday. Everything gets started at 8 a.m. Eastern Saturday morning. You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
Hey, we're back with the Pace Radio Show. I see you got some plumbing going on there in the background.
I got some help to grind some stuff for me.
Alrighty.
Thank you, my dear. You can go finish the plumbing now. I love you. Bye. Well, you know, sometimes a mom needs a hand, right? Close that door, babe, so I don't hear you guys. Thank you. Yeah, I can't grind it. I can't. My hands like.
Right. Yeah. Your hands are so sore. Yeah. So.
Everything in sight.
Yeah. Well, it's good.
Either that or I'm gonna be popping pills, and
Yeah, I know.
Everything in my power not to do that. Like.
Yeah.
And it gets to the point sometimes before bed I don't have a choice, but I wait and I wait and I wait. And I probably shouldn't. My doctor's giving me shit. You should be taking them on a regular basis. Yeah, every 4 hours. I don't want to take them, which she's not getting. Right? She doesn't get that through her head. Thanks for coming and bringing them to me if I need them, but I don't want them.
Right.
Anyways, let's get on to the press release.
I am. I'm just waiting for you to turn so I can hear you a little bit better, and you're looking towards the screen.
Oh, I can do that. I was just.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm sitting on my grandmother's old stool. It's an old one of those stools.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It was. Yeah. I've got two of her. Well, three. This and the dresser in the corner, and then I've got the old. Anyways, doesn't matter. Okay, press release.
All right. So, as you know, over the last 2 years, I've gone and through PACE or other means gone to the Can Expo in Toronto and covered the event. Gone around and talked to the vendors and covered the awards and different competitions, joint rolling and.
Well, it's really good at it.
Pardon me?
It's because you're really good at it.
Well, thank you. So, so I received an email today from the CEO, Kathy Riley of the Can Expo. And I've got it on the screen there right now. I'm just going to close this other thing off. It's out of my way. It says that we're excited to announce that the launch of the Can Expo Access Grants, supported by the Ontario Cannabis Stores, aimed at enhancing the representation and participation of the Black, Indigenous, people of color, and women-owned licensed retailers and licensed producer brands at Can Expo. The grant details include what you get is the access grants will provide successful applicants with free in-kind registration, including a 10x10 booth at the Can Expo in Toronto, which takes place March 21st and 22nd at the Queen Elizabeth Building. The value of it is $3,600. That's $3,600. It includes a furnished booth with a table, 2 chairs, and carpet. Hydro is included. Promotion on the canexpo.ca website, including profiles announcing the winners. The selection of the grant recipients will be conducted through a randomized selection process, ensuring that all applicants have an equal opportunity to be selected, and preference will be given to businesses based in Ontario, it says. Eligibility criteria, it says you must be a licensed retailer brand authorized by the AGCO or a licensed producer brand authorized by Health Canada. The business must be at least 51% owned and operated by individuals who identify as Black, Indigenous, or a person of color, or a woman. Encourage applications from businesses that may face barriers to participation due to cost or other factors. Now, as far as the timeline, they have until the 16th. So that's next Monday, the 16th, at midnight. So the end of the day. And winners will be notified by Can Expo by December the 19th via an email or social media. And they go on to say that we believe that these grants will play a crucial role in fostering diversity within the cannabis industry and providing valuable opportunities for unrepresented businesses. And for more information, you can go to the canexpo.ca website. So there you go. People can go to the website, register in there, and see if you can get selected for a free booth in order to promote your business at the Can Expo. $3,600 value. I think furnished booth, electricity, the whole bit. Yeah.
That's pretty steep for a booth.
I couldn't hear you.
I said that's pretty steep for a booth. Like,
oh yeah, booths aren't cheap these days. Oh, I know.
That's pretty steep because even it's been a long time, but I mean, I guess whatever. It's a business, right? You have to.
Yeah. Yeah. I know.
I'm not a licensed anything.
Yeah. Well, I know my days from with TY, like if you want a carpet, that was extra. If you wanted this or you wanted that, yeah, it was always extra.
Any what?
Oh,
What do you go for? Tape. There's tape. There's yeah. There is. Give me 2 seconds, though.
All right, you go deal with that. And I got something that you probably want to join in with when you get back. And what's I'm getting about there is that because she's arthritis, Tamara has arthritis, and dealing with muscle pains and all that stuff. There's a study that came out from a Colombian review of clinical trials. They say that cannabis improves fibro symptoms. There's people always say we need more studies, or they'll say on the other end, say, oh yeah, we already know that. So, it's by bringing it out or by discussing it, it helps, more people learn about it, because not everybody knows about the benefits. Obviously, when you're based on that survey results, some of that results there, those reports need to get addressed more often.
Absolutely. Well, like I said before, my doctor's not big on fibromyalgia. Like when I first went into her
Yeah.
office, I said that to her. She goes, I don't believe in that. And like I said, it's weird because, but then again, I don't, all of it, right? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, there you go. See, there's the report right there. It says the use of cannabis-based medications by patients diagnosed with fibromyalgia, including the use of unprocessed cannabis flower. So, when they say the use of cannabis flower unprocessed, that's not a friggin' pill that's coming out of the pharmacy.
No,
right?
that's smoking.
Correct. Or consuming along that way.
Yeah. Well, I do find it diverts. Like, I'm not saying that it helps the pain, because I'm not going to lie, it doesn't.
Mhm.
The pain is so excruciating. Like I said, it's like a hand cramp, only one that never goes away, and it feels like you broke your bone. So my hand right now feels like it's broken, but it's not.
Oh, yeah, really, eh?
What do you do? Would you injure yourself? No, it's arthritis. It feels like a broken bone.
Yeah. They say it affects about 5% of the world. Women are the most likely to be diagnosed with it. Chronic muscular, I can't pronounce it all right.
Fibromyalgia. Oh,
Yeah, that's the kind of condition that it is. So yeah,
all I know is
fibro,
what
cannabis.
exercise is it fucking hurts.
You got to say, "Hey, doc, look, here's a study, here's a report," and they'll probably say, "I haven't got time to read that."
Every time I say that I use cannabis for pain, the specialist, she goes, "It's a placebo." She's South African too, right? So she doesn't. Yeah.
She says it's
And-
placebo.
Yeah, she says it's a placebo. Taven, there should be some black-handled ones in the kitchen.
Oh,
Check in the
yeah,
bathroom here. In the bathroom in the
that's too bad. I don't know how a young child is having seizures, whose seizures have been reduced by 95% or 90% or even 100%, how that is placebo effect.
I don't know. I don't understand it either, because like I said, my GP is more inclined to go along like she's not Canadian either. Like, she's foreign born too, but like German or Polish or something along those lines.
European.
European, right?
Yeah.
Where and like I said, my specialist is a Dutch European South African, right? Like, she's not of darker skin, she's white, and she doesn't want to hear anything about cannabis. Where my
Oh,
GP,
really? Eh?
oh no, she poo-poos it all the time. It's a placebo. But my GP, on the other hand, is interested to hear how it helps me. But she also is the addiction doctor here in town too, that also goes to Anchors that prescribes methadone and Suboxone. So she sees.
My doctor was away, and there was another doctor who filled in for him. And this doctor, she was from South Africa, and I was in there, and I was reading a TY magazine while I was waiting for her, and because I had them,
Right, bring them
and
with you. Spread them around.
She asked me what I was reading, and I told her, and she said, "Oh, well, did you know that THC in your cannabis can lower your blood pressure?" And I said to her, "Is that why my blood pressure is always so low?"
Is that what the problem is? Your blood pressure is too low?
Well, it is. I actually, when she says, "Yeah, it does lower your blood pressure," and I asked her at that point, well, being that you've got medication for high blood pressure, because that's bad for you. I said, what is like what's low? Like, what do where's the bad line? And she said, give us a call when you faint. I've
Okay.
never fainted, but yeah. I have that, and I've talked to other patients who have low blood pressure as well.
I don't know.
So yeah,
My doctor says that I've got no iron. That she's surprised that I would sit up. That I'm so anemic.
no iron. Well, you can come to
Like,
our town. We got
so
lots of.
anemic. Like I'm so anemic that like there's no iron in my blood at all. That
No,
just,
man.
she goes, don't you feel faint? I said, no, I feel fine.
You're not on any iron pills.
No, like don't absorb anything. So she wanted me to do liquid iron in a drink, and it tastes like shit. So
Oh, you don't absorb it. That's your bowels, intestines.
I don't
Yeah,
absorb much of anything. That's always kind of been an issue. When I did like absorb anything, and my body stores it as fat because my body's always starving, right?
right.
And I got an eating disorder because of that too. So because of
Right.
colitis, it's just
You need some cannabis that gives you the munchies.
no, it gives me the munchies. It's not like I don't eat. It just nothing absorbs. So I
That
could eat,
absorbs.
yeah, like
Ah,
nutrients, very
I don't.
little. Like it does, but not a lot. Like it's not like I don't get any. Like my methotrexate obviously absorbs, but maybe it's starting to not. Maybe I'm having issues with absorbing. Maybe that's why I'm flaring. Right? Which
Oh yeah.
open
So
at me.
so yeah, because your methotrexate, you're taking it as a capsule.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not doing the injections. All
No.
right.
No.
Yeah. Sorry.
I know. I'm gonna
You
fucking I
know,
know. And
I
I
had
don't
to. That was the concern my doctor had, that my bowels were so messed up I wasn't absorbing anything.
well,
And that's
that's
why I
what
had to do
I'm
them.
starting to think. I'm starting to think that's why I'm flaring every little bit. I don't think it's got anything to do with the medication. I think it's just that I'm not absorbing anything.
Mm-hmm.
Because my colitis, because everything just runs right through me. So how could I be absorbing anything? How could I be absorbing any of the medication? Like even when I do take the morphine, I don't think
Well,
it absorbs. It doesn't help my pain, and I don't get anything out of it.
and you've been losing weight, so there's lack of maybe absorption of nutrients.
Yeah. Well, the weight too could be. Look at since I've been on the show. Look at how much that's swollen
Yeah.
in the last
Yeah.
hour.
Yeah, and you're looking
Like it's all like it's like yeah, like
not good. Not good.
Christ. I just
Well, at my doctor visit today with my nurse practitioner, I call her my doctor. I've always supported nurses, and now I have a nurse practitioner. So during my my discussion with her today over my knees, she asked me if I was putting anything on it. She says, "You putting any lotions on it or any CBD cream or anything?" And I went, "Whoa, hey." I'm not used to being asked that
right.
or to bring that up. So I sort of look at that as a bit of an advancement, because my doctors have never asked me if I'm using any CBD or anything along that line. As
The
far
younger
as
ones are being educated on it now.
yeah,
And I think we've done a lot of educating. I think some of the older doctors are actually starting to tune in too because they're seeing it everywhere. Like you
yeah,
can't dispute it when it's everywhere, when it's in your face, when people are saying this is what's helping me. When story after story after story, and their medical journals are coming up with these story after story, and all these people with evidence coming up, how can you dispute it? Because you can't tell me that they're not reading the same medical studies of
yeah. Or how can they
they
say
have,
placebo?
right? But
Yeah,
again, like I said, it depends on their stance, and I hate to say it depends on their religion.
there's that too. Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
I hate to say that. And I really don't think that should be
Political leanings.
in their practice. I'm sorry, but if you're a doctor, lawyer, you should be impartial and you should keep your religion and political out of your practice. Like
Mhm.
you don't believe in it, then you shouldn't be a doctor,
Should be looking after your patient and
right?
whatever's
Because
best.
I
Yeah.
don't care. Women's health, women's health, and if you think it's okay for a woman to die because, but you said your oath was you'd do no harm, but you'd watch her bleed to death because you don't want to worry about going to jail or what your God might think, then your God's unjust and you're selfish.
Right. Yeah. Is it helping? Is it helping?
The icy pot helps for a bit. Yep, it does.
Yeah.
And so I would just rub some icy pot. And it doesn't take the swelling down, but it just, because it's got the arnica in it too, and the eucalyptus and the THC and whatever magic that she does. It does help. So I just rub some of this. I rub this shit on it. Well, not everything, but yeah.
Right.
Can't rub that shit on everything.
Yeah, I've got some cannabis based lotion beside the bed, so I can put some on my knee. Put it on my knee before I go to bed.
Yeah, it definitely helps. Well, when I went to the kitchen after in the last break, it looks like my bottom of my sink is put together, and they have the taps in their hands. So I might have a running kitchen sink.
Yeah, the drains.
They're singing Christmas carols. I gave Garrett a beer. I probably shouldn't have done that. But.
The singing Christmas carols. That's Christmas carols are usually associated with happy.
I'm having a hard time this year. I need a pen. But I got the Grinch beside me. First bag I pulled was my Grinch.
Oh yeah.
I've had this Grinch. My mom got this Grinch. I can't remember what year it was.
Oh yeah.
It's been around for a long time. It's an old.
Gail's sneaking up to see your Grinch.
Oh, I saw it.
Did you?
Yeah. Yeah.
He actually has batteries, and he actually he says something. I can't remember.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's on. I don't know. But yeah, he talks, and I've got the dog too that goes with him. The little dog in the sack. So his little dog.
Oh, okay, right.
Dog with the reindeer, and
there we go. Yes, he rides in the back.
Yeah.
In the back in the sleigh.
Batteries, yeah. What does he do? His batteries. Everybody's batteries must be dead. I wouldn't imagine.
I always use that movie as a cannabis advocate to describe how working with patients and how making people feel better about what was using.
It works.
Oh.
Batteries are getting dead.
Yeah.
Okay, go away. So the dog works.
As I was saying, because there's a part in the movie where the Grinch's heart grows 10 times.
Oh yeah.
Right, and so knowing that you made a difference in a patient's life to improve their quality of life, I always said that made my heart grow 10 times.
Yeah, that's right.
No.
Yeah, no, but he doesn't do it. But yeah, like I said, it's going to be a Grinchy year this year for us. I think, but it is what it is.
Damn. All right, we're down to the last minute. Anything offhand?
No, I'm not doing a show next Monday because we're doing holidays, which is good because it gives me, till after.
Yeah, we're shutting down from what did I say?
22nd of December.
22nd to January. Yeah, we return on January the 6th with the news, and we'll shut down on the
22nd.
22nd, the Monday. So the broad.
I might do a Christmas broadcast.
Okay,
like I
back.
might do a show. Yeah, I might do a last show on Monday. We'll see.
Yeah. Like that's the end day. So whether that's the last day, we'll broadcast on the 22nd. Do the news. Do your show. And then we return on the 6th of January with the news and your show.
On my show.
Right.
The Grinch and I will be there. Yeah, I guess just, send money.
Send money.
The substitution program needs help. Well, like I said, we've got
Mom, here is your reminder. Nasty note to Tegan.
Oh, there you go.
Mom, here is your reminder. Nasty note to Tegan.
good things to remind me. I'd forgotten.
Okay, Tegan, you're getting it by the sounds of it.
Now I remember, the road. But like I said, we've got a fair bit of toiletries and stuff. People really stepped up. There's stuff being dropped off. It's mainly, like I said, we're running low. Like I've got probably enough of what the anonymous donor from Ontario sent just to get me through this weekend. There's probably just enough of that, and then I'm done.
Wow.
But we've gone
e-transfers, even though people can't send you
to Tamara Lee 3 at gmail.com.
Like people can't send you
mail. Like that's
mail, but if they send you an e-transfer, you can still go purchase cannabis to take to the people.
Right. And like I said, they get 2 grams a week per person plus a pack of papers if they need it. If they got a pack of papers the week before, they don't usually ask for another one. Canadian Lumber also sponsors our program for all our papers, which is wonderful. Dirty Darts trading post out at the Tanaha Nation also has a donation jar out for us and is also selling my candies, and all the proceeds of those go to our substitution program as well. And look for more candies and gummies.
Do they have they have like, obviously they're selling cannabis, but do they have cannabis at a reasonable price that maybe somebody who might be watching that is more maybe local to you could actually go there and say, hey, donate this ounce of cannabis to the substitution program?
Right. Yeah. And I mean, they when we went out there, we got some stellar prices, right? Because of but anything that we got for half price, so even like an eighth is only $30, right?
Right.
And so, for $50, I got a stellar, package. But for anybody else, it would probably still be a decent quarter.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, and it's decent. Like, I mean, I can't say, when I went out there and said, do you have any kush? They pulled out 4 jars.
Well, there you go.
You can see it. You can smell it. And that's the difference between them and the legal stores. And they're sovereign, and they've got band permission. So as far as I know, we're good to go. So
yeah, they got band permission. They're good to go.
And our substitution program too, we've had no issues with any. And like I said, the fire department and police force and paramedics, who are our firefighters too, are all like saying do whatever it takes, like whatever it takes.
So you're getting support that way. Yeah, they know what you're doing, what you're about, and what you're doing.
Well, yeah, it helps with their customers at my store.
Well, yeah, and every help that you can help the people in the encampment there.
Even if I could just deter one of them from using one day. It's one day that they might get some sleep. One day that they might, not go looking for money to go get high. Like maybe it's one day they can just stay in their tent and rest. Like maybe. But again, there's no expectations. There's no strings attached. There's no end of, this is a zero barrier program. I don't care. I don't ask. And it's none of my business. Right. What goes on out at the park stays at the park.
Yeah. E-transfer email address again?
TamaraLee3@gmail.com.
All right. Thanks. Yeah. Thanks to our sponsors, Legacy420.com. Lime City Hydroponics.ca, the Campbellford Lifestyle Shop, as well as At-Eze.ca. Thanks to everybody for tuning in the program, and we will see you all next week. Thank you, and bye-bye.
Let's share PACE everywhere. That way it can help create peace. People everywhere advocating cannabis education.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.